It wasn't so long ago that Mr. Trump surely was called by David Cameron protectionist, xenophobic, misogynist. And yet, only this week, David Cameron has been down to Mar-a-Lago in Florida and has had dinner with Trump and has then had a chat with Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State. And, he says that he has no intention of lecturing anybody or telling anybody what to do. But the reality is that he's having to sit down with these people that he dislikes, and he's having to recognize that these people are the people in power. And more than that, that he strides the world stage in a way that the Prime Minister of the day, Rishi Sunak, really does not. And it is quite remarkable, the comeback of David Cameron, that David Cameron has a charisma which is lacking in almost any other part of this government. And it's a charisma that, you would have seen in 3 or 4 members of the top of the cabinet only a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Certainly at the time of certainly at the time of Cameron. Cameron was not the only big beast in his cabinet. There were others. And yet, following Boris Johnson, the big beasts are people who stand up in Parliament and recite somebody else's slogans. You can't take Hunt seriously. You can't even identify James Cleverly by name. You call him Jason Cleverly because you can't remember. His name is so insignificant. The effect of James Cleverly is so trite. As for Suella Braverman, well, she's no longer part of the picture. Priti Patel, no longer part of the picture. And Penny Mordaunt, not a serious player, leader of the House, itching for the big jobs, but she's not got one at the moment. And David Cameron is the only household name that we've got to wheel out. And Cameron has, who was it? Richard Holden was saying, David Cameron has gravitas. Everybody wants to hear what he will say. They're quite right. It's almost as if he's got a second bite of the prime ministership in a way that perhaps Boris Johnson desperately wants. Boris Johnson is put in his place once again by a man who does the job properly. David Cameron. David Cameron eclipses almost every foreign minister that we've had in living memory.